Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's moving day here on Belle Isle, not for anybody moving in, except for the Detroit Grand Prix brought to us by Lear. I've got new friends, Jonah, Gary, Marlon, and Rob is inside the truck over there. They're working hard. In fact, these guys are going to be working 12-hour shifts, 24 hours a day. Just wait until you see what they have to do.
Plus, it's a marvelous Monday with temperatures on the rise. Paul Gross is here with a look at if it will stay in the 70s as the week progresses. He's also tracking a thunderstorm threat. Heartbreak and agony. This morning, the sun rose to lives shattered after bombings destroyed the peace and solemnness of Easter Sunday services in Sri Lanka. Why the deadliest violence since the country's civil war ended a decade ago could have been prevented. And that violence does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassidy. The Eiffel Tower is what you see here. Its lights are turned off overnight to honor the victims of those bombings. Nearly 300 people were killed and more than 500 others were injured in blasts that ripped through churches and luxury hotels in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday. The attacks were carried out by 7 suicide bombers from a militant group. Officials failed to heed warnings from intelligence agencies about the threat of an attack by the domestic radical Muslim group. Bill Neely reports from the ground in Colombo.
Another explosion here in the capital, Colombo, this morning. Another bomb that went off a few hundred yards behind me. As army experts were trying to defuse it, it was in a vehicle parked right outside this church, one of the targets yesterday. So clearly this threat is not over yet. This is St. Anthony's Church, where more than 70 worshippers were killed yesterday when a suicide bomber walked in during Easter Sunday Mass and detonated his explosives. Families had prayed together. They died together. Hundreds here killed and injured, among them 2 Americans confirmed dead, 1 injured and 1 American unaccounted for. The FBI is on the ground here helping local investigators. Police here say they have identified the terror group behind this. It is a radical Islamist group, but it has no history of such terror attacks, and the government is saying it couldn't have done this without the help of an international terror network. So yesterday, 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels targeted. Another explosion here today. This island clearly tense, and the threat here not over yet. Bill Neely, NBC News, Colombo, Sri Lanka.
All right, thank you, Bill. Making headlines back here at home now. Michigan State Police have arrested 12 sex offenders during a 2-day sweep across Metro Detroit. MSP troopers worked with the U.S. Marshals for a sweep in Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties. 4 teams targeted 26 registered offenders who had outstanding warrants. The teams were able to arrest 12 people. They've all been arraigned on their charges. Breaking news now out of Washington, where the Trump administration has tightened its economic sanctions on Iran. The U.S. has granted waivers to 5 countries, allowing them to purchase oil from Iran. But now the U.S. says those waivers will end early next month to put pressure on the Iranian government.
We will continue to enforce sanctions and monitor compliance. Any nation or entity interacting with Iran should do its diligence and err on the side of caution. The risks are simply not going to be worth the benefits.
Now, the sanctions waiver affects Japan, China, South Korea, Turkey, and India. China has responded, saying its dealings with Iran are reasonable and legitimate and deserving respect. Also breaking out of Washington, President Trump is going to court to stop a congressional committee from getting their hands on his financial records. Lawyers for the president and the Trump organization filed suit today to block the House Oversight Committee from getting financial documents from the accounting firm used by the president and his business. The democratically controlled House Oversight Committee issued a subpoena last week calling for the accounting firm to hand over 10 years' worth of financial documents. The president's lawyer says the committee action is politically motivated. In the meantime, Democrats are strategizing about a path forward following last week's release of the redacted Mueller report. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi scheduling a conference call with the Democratic caucus today, insisting that Congress will not be silent after the Justice Department released a redacted version of the special counsel's report last week. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says the caucus will weigh the option of pursuing President Trump's impeachment over the coming weeks.
I think what we are going to have to decide as a caucus is what is the best thing for the country. Is the best thing for the country to take up an impeachment proceeding, or is it in the best interest of the country not to take up an impeachment that we know will not be successful in the Senate because the Republican leadership will not do its duty?
House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, who leads the committee where impeachment would start, saying he wants to hear Mueller testify first.
If proven, some of this would be impeachable, yes.
All right.
Obstruction of justice, if proven, would be impeachable.
Mueller outlined at least 10 episodes that he investigated where the president attempted to thwart his probe. Democrats have been divided on the issue, with Nadler, Pelosi, and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer urging caution, as a handful of the caucus's more progressive members and two 2020 candidates call for impeachment proceedings to begin.
This isn't about politics. It is about what a president of the United States should be able to do and what the role of Congress is in saying, no, a president does not get to come in and stop an investigation about a foreign power that attacked this country.
President Trump responding, asking, how do you impeach a Republican president for a crime that was committed by Democrats? As members of the administration continue to falsely insist that the president has been exonerated.
The president is not going to jail. He's staying in the White House for 5.5 more years.
President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, raising eyebrows with this defense of the Trump campaign's willingness to accept political help from Russians.
Any candidate in the whole world, in America, would take information negative
from a foreign source? From a hostile foreign source?
Who says it's even illegal? There's nothing wrong with taking information from Russians.
There's nothing wrong with taking information.
It depends on where it came from. It depends on where it came from.
And in the meantime, the First Family held the annual Easter egg roll at the White House this morning. The U.S. Supreme Court today said that it would hear two cases involving alleged discrimination against LGBT people. One case involves people who claim that they were fired from their jobs because of their sexual orientation. The other involves an individual who was fired after disclosing that he was transitioning from male to female and started dressing as a woman. The cases are going to be heard this fall, with rulings expected sometime in the summer of the year 2020. Detroit businessman Robert Carmack is back in court today. He's in court for a key hearing on his ongoing battle with the city. The businessman is known for his long-running feud with Mayor Mike Duggan, and he's facing charges for alleged fraud after the city says he sold property that he didn't own for $1 million. His attorney is trying to have the charges against him dropped. Well, turning our attention to the forecast now, a beautiful day across Metro Detroit. As we take a live look at the Detroit skyline, you can see the sun shining on all the buildings, Paul. Are we going to hit 70 today or what?
Oh, yeah. A lot of us are going to hit 70, and the exception will be those near the water. Now, you can see kind of what's happening here as we do four-zone weather here. Now, Detroit's at 65 degrees, 67 at Sterling Heights, 66 in West Bloomfield, 67 at Taylor. But look, Grosse Ile getting wind off the water. You're only 55 degrees and just barely 60, just updated to 60 in Mount Clemens. Now, down in our south zone, Monroe not getting the wind right off the water. So Monroe, at least at the airport there, is 65 degrees. Might be cooler near the shore. Mid-60s as you get back to the west, Bluesfield, Adrian, up to Manchester. And then in the west zone, it's upper 60s. You might hit the upper 70s there today. And then you can see 66 at Melvin, but only 58 in Sandusky, 58 in Emmett. So for the afternoon, lots of sunshine. We're saying an average of 73 degrees for the high, but some will be warmer to the west and cooler near the lakes. I'll be back with the rest of the forecast in just a bit.
All righty, Paul, we'll see you shortly. Kelly Stafford, the wife of Detroit Lions quarterback Matt Stafford, is back at home now and resting after a 12-hour brain surgery last week. She was diagnosed with acoustic neuroma, which is a slow-growing tumor on the nerve that connects the ear and the brain. Stafford posted an update on her Instagram page last night, thanking everyone for their prayers. And it reads in part, "This Easter is the beginning of a new life for me. I want to take a second to thank all of you for the prayers. They have worked." And we certainly continue to wish her a speedy recovery. The Chevrolet Grand Prix, Detroit Grand Prix, presented by Lear Corporation, now about 5 weeks away, meaning that prep work for the race has officially started. As Local 4's Nick Monticelli shows us, today was the official move-in day, and the setup will take weeks. Nick?
Good afternoon, here inside the heart of the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, brought to us by Lear. Now, I know looking around this area, you really have no idea what any of this is. I actually don't either, but I've talked to a lot of people and we're trying to figure out. In fact, these guys right now are unloading a lot of what's going to be scaffolding for risers, for bleachers, things to help everybody that's going to be here. Now, take a look at this video. This is just a very small portion of what's actually out here. Today is moving day, and they have lots and lots of trucks and crews starting to work. In fact, they've got 85 crew members that are going to be working 24-hour shifts from now until the beginning of the race, which is May 31st, so not that long away at this point. The timeline is kind of squished together, so to speak, because their new agreement with the state and the DNR is that they wanted to try to do this in a smaller window, so they would have less of an impact on the island and those here that want to enjoy it.
We've trimmed out as much as we can. This year will be 7 days less to build out the Grand Prix from what it was a year ago, and it's down to 60 days total for building it up and taking it down, including race weekend. That's down from more than 90 days just for a few years ago.
Back out here again, looking at these crews, they have been moving pieces of equipment around all morning long, and again, they will be doing this. Hey there. They will be doing this right up until race time, which, by the way, again, the first race starts May 31st, goes until June 2nd. I'm Belle Isle, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Oh, and we are certainly looking forward to it. Nick, thank you. So to come, the city of Paris takes another step forward in recovery efforts after last week's devastating fire at the iconic Cathedral of Notre Dame. We'll tell you what happened today. Plus, 1.8 million people die every year from breathing the air in India. Find out what politicians and entrepreneurs are trying to do to curb the problem. All right, welcome back. An investigation is underway after a deadly crash in Detroit. It happened near Peter Hunt Street and Gratiot on the city's east side. Police say that a motorcyclist crashed into a minivan and the passenger of that motorcycle was killed. We're told the driver of the motorcycle took off after the crash, and right now police are still looking for him.
Eastbound on the Hall Road. Eastbound on Hall Road.
A man who led Sterling Heights police on a chase early Saturday morning is expected to face charges in court today. The driver pulled away from a traffic stop leading police north on Van Dyke to eastbound Hall Road. His car hit a road sign and he ran off, but other officers joined in to track down the driver, who was cornered a short distance away. He's going to be charged with fleeing and eluding and resisting and obstructing officers. The city of Paris took another step forward in recovery efforts after last week's devastating fire at the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral. Many of the streets adjacent to the cathedral were closed when the fire broke out, but have since reopened to the public, and businesses in the area that were forced to shut down have since reopened their doors. Some areas closest to the cathedral are still off limit to the public. France's wealthiest families have pledged $1 billion to help repair the church. Advocates for the homeless are criticizing the donations as ignoring the plight of the poor. All right, so to come here on Local 4 News at noon. Most of us think that we're doing something good for the environment when we put plastic in a recycling bin, but it turns out that it can have an adverse impact on the environment. We'll tell you why. Paul?
Well, we have an absolutely spectacular day. We're going to get well into the 70s in many places, but how long will the pleasant weather last? What kind of a cool down do we have coming our way? We'll talk about that and tomorrow's thunderstorm chances all straight ahead.
New fine dining on the Avenue of Fashion. This spot just opened, and they're offering a unique tableside experience. Tasty Tuesday, tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Right there.
Man, what a great day in progress. If you're at work watching right now on clickondetroit.com, you just want to get outside and walk to lunch somewhere, drive to lunch, have lunch outside, whatever. It's just spectacular. Well into the 60s in many areas. And look at Lansing. Already 70 degrees out there, but meanwhile, near the Great Lakes, Harrow, Ontario, still stuck in the 50s. Grosse Ile, still stuck in the 50s. 58 right now at Sandusky, a little Lake Huron influence perhaps up there, but then you look not far away in Lapeer, it's 69. And here you see on the visible satellite, the morning patch of cloud cover that came across, it was just mid-level clouds, nothing terrible, but that has moved off, and we now have this nice wedge of clear skies perfectly timed for our afternoon. Now, on a broader view, you can see the spiral back here to the west. You see the counterclockwise circulation. So that's a nice, tight, compact little area of low pressure, and that counterclockwise circulation brings up the warm air. So we're on the warm side today, and you're seeing that in the temperatures. So two views. First of all, here's a regional view of what's going to happen. Then I'll zoom in on this to show you close up. First of all, we're fine through the afternoon rush hour, but tomorrow morning, late at night, right first thing at dawn, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area. But then when this cold front actually approaches around lunchtime, not a whole lot with it. There might be a shower or two. And then once this passes by, a big area of clear sky starts moving in, and that sunshine is going to stay with us all the way through the day on Wednesday. So now let's zoom in and give you a little more granular view of what's going on. So here we are at the afternoon rush hour. So we still have plenty of sunshine around, maybe some high clouds. Clouds thicken up overnight, and again, late at night toward morning, you see scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not everybody necessarily getting one, but there's the front all the way back there. And so by the time that gets here, look at this. There's not a whole lot going on with it. It's a pretty benign front as far as I'm concerned. So this will come through around lunchtime. Any showers are gone with it, and we get back to at least partial sunshine during the afternoon. And then tomorrow night, we start seeing things clear out, and then we get into Wednesdays, I just showed you. Boy, oh boy, lots of blue sky on Wednesday. A little cooler, but nothing you can't handle. We're going to stay in the 60s all week long. Now today, we're going to call an average of low to mid 70s, but cooler near the lakes, as I showed you. Warmer west of US 23, where it could be in the upper 70s in some spots. And then tomorrow, 68 for the high with, again, that morning thunderstorm chance. Wednesday, our weather radio day, beautiful day, 62 the high. We'll be at the Ann Arbor Meijer on Ann Arbor Saline Road, and we stay in the 60s again, Evrod, all week long.
I certainly like the sound of that, Paul. Thank you. We do want to update you about this startling new statistic out of India on this Earth Day. Doctors there are saying that nearly 1.8 million people die every year just from breathing in the polluted air. So in an effort to bring that number down, politicians there are trying to do their part by going green. The government is phasing out gas-powered rickshaws, and they're working to go electric. They're also working on subsidizing alternative and affordable natural gas stoves for everyone. And as we mark this Earth Day, we're trying our part to do better recycling. Plastic especially. Many Southeast Asian countries are seeing mountains of it. One of the countries, Malaysia, is seeing an increase of plastic waste shipments from wealthy countries, including the U.S. Malaysia's Minister of Energy has suspended the import of plastic scrap, but the imports are still happening.
I will take care of my own rubbish. You should take care of your own, right? So
you don't want American garbage anymore.
Well, I think Malaysia has no capacity to do it.
The minister says society as a whole needs to find ways to eliminate their own plastic without sending it to some of the poorer countries. So to come here at noon, he's worked with the Beatles, he's worked with Pink Floyd, and now he himself has an album coming out. We'll tell you who he is after the break. Keep it here.
Lawyers Now.
All right, so finally here at noon, there is a rock music veteran who's still making music after 50 years into his career.
Yeah, young old guys like me remember him. Alan Parsons is coming out with a new album this Friday. His new album is called The Secret, but he's been making music with the Alan Parsons Project for years, along with performing with other acts and helping engineer landmark albums for groups like Pink Floyd.
After 13 Grammy Award nominations, Alan Parsons won his first Grammy last year, and he continues to perform and record albums. He kind of favors Billy Ray Cyrus a little bit.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
Yeah, no, I do agree, and he's great. He's turned out some great music over the years.
Absolutely. You were a fan growing up?
I am a fan, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. I'm a fan of this forecast that we've got.
Oh, yeah. Now, today into the 70s, and even the rest of the week, we're going to cool off, but we're going to stay in the 60s through the weekend. Now, we have an isolated, a scattered thunderstorm tomorrow morning, and then nice day Wednesday for our weather radio day, so looking good.
Like the sound of that. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.